everybody. We have an invocation led by Councilwoman Sheila Backus, please.
Let us pray. Father, as we come together one more time, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Lord, please help us tonight to come together for the betterment of all the citizens of Darlington.
Thank you, Jesus.
Please guide our words, our minds, and our thoughts. As we return home tonight, please, Lord, let us travel in grace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have approval of our minutes of January 8th, 2019 council meeting. Can I get a motion for that?
Motion that we approve the minutes of January 8, 2019 council minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, it's probably a motion and second to receive the minutes. All in favor, let me know sign aye. Opposed, have the same right. Motion carries. Approval of the meeting agenda.
Madam Mayor, before we do that, please strike 8B. We ask that be moved to Thursday, February 21st at 6 p.m. 8B.
8B?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Everybody heard that, right? Straight 8B. Approval of the meeting agenda. Is that being scratched? Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting agenda with the changes made on 8B. I second.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. All in favor? Give me someone aye. Opposed, have the same right. Motion carries. 5, report of standing committees. DDRA. Lisa Rock.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Please indulge me tonight for something a little outside my normal report, which is printed in front of you, my normal events and calendar. But I need to take a moment tonight to remember someone who forever changed the landscape of downtown with one gesture, one donation that he and his wife didn't have to make. Retired Fire Chief James Casperstone Jr., who passed away last week. He helped turn the tragedy and destruction of a downtown blaze that destroyed multiple businesses into the beauty that is the Darlington Veterans Memorial, a place downtown that people enjoy every single day, and a place that recognizes the dedication and sacrifice of so many to our nation. Jim Stone served this city for more than 5 decades in the fire service. He served our state in the National Guard and served our nation in the Air Force Reserves. He served Darlington on County Council as a council member and as chair, and worked to establish the 911 communication system we use today for our first responders. He was a father figure to many more than his biological children. He was a coach, mentor, leader, Kiwanian, member of the DDRA, and lifelong member of First Baptist Church, and so much more. So many great things that should not be erased. Jim Stone changed the face of downtown and the hearts of many whose lives he touched. I'm sure he did more for this town than what I've said in this brief time, but I would ask that we take my last moment before you in silence in his honor. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Greater Darlington Chamber of Commerce in this
Good evening.
Good evening.
As everyone knows, I hope, the Chamber's annual banquet will be held on February the 28th at the Darlington Country Club, and I hope to see everybody's face that night. We had put out the call for nominations for our annual awards, and I was thrilled this year. We got nominations. And you know, it's usually like pulling teeth, but we got nominations this year, which I was very thankful for. The social hour will begin at 6:30 with dinner immediately following. Brian Gandy with the Historical Commission will give a brief little talk during the banquet. Everybody's heard of his, I don't want to say windfall because it was left to him, but of the $4.2 million gift. And I'm sure Brian is going to say some words on that. But also Brian and the Chamber are going to be doing some things together this year, which I'm really excited about. He's very knowledgeable about our county, our city. It'll be educational. He's also a lot of fun to listen to. The presentation of the awards is always my favorite part. Community Pride, Business Leader of the Year / Business of the Year, Citizen of the Year, and the Lifetime Achievement Award. During our social hour, we did it several years ago, we're going to have another silent auction. I've received several auction items from Covered in Cotton, which is a new blanket business we have in Darlington. They grow the cotton, they pick the cotton, they manufacture the blankets. It is truly a Darlington product. And I have one of their blankets, and it's wonderful. Raceway Ford donated, Barn of All Trades, Tractor Supply, and several other businesses. So we're going to have a nice little silent auction going on in the, I call it the yellow room, the yellow bar. Tickets can be purchased at the Chamber or at the door. Tickets are $35. We usually do $40 the day of the event. It's just $35. We are in the process of getting ready for Bow Ties and Pearls, which we started last year. It's at South Pearl in the backyard. It's a barbecue buffet, and we'll have a band. It was a great time last year. I encourage everybody to come again this year. Todd will be doing the barbecue. We'll have a local band there. It's just a lot of fun. Tickets will be $25, and that's all inclusive. That includes whatever you want to drink and the buffet.
What'd you say the date was?
That is April 26th. And we're going to have, in May, a business expo. Just talked to Frank Willis about that. What we want to do is showcase our businesses. Darlington is more than just our racetrack. I mean, that's important, but our businesses need to be showcased. So we're thinking about using maybe Edward Street. That's a nice street. We've got the two pretty homes right there, a lot of shade. Doing it in May. We've got Covered in Cotton again. We've got Newport. We've got the Raceway. We've got Carolina Rice. And when I say Darlington, I don't just mean the city, I mean the county. Hartsville businesses want to come in, please do. You'll need to come into Darlington, but we'd love to have you. Showcase who you are. If you are a manufacturer, a farmer, if your product is made or produced in Darlington, and take that how you want to, come join us. We're going to get in touch with Uncle Albert. He's my favorite. Love him, love his barbecue sauce. The coffee company that we have in Darlington. If you're buying your coffee from 8 o'clock, stop. Buy the Darlington coffee. Keep your money in Darlington. I beg you. Carolina Rice, Birdsong Peanuts, Gillespie Peanuts. We're going to have the racetrack there. We're going to have the drag strip there. They're trying to become more active in the community. Georgia Pacific. Now I have an announcement about Georgia Pacific. They rejoined the chamber after 8 years. I am thrilled.
Yes.
I got a call from the vice president in Nashville, and he's meeting with me next week. He wants to do more in this community. So I am thrilled. He said, I've heard what you had to say, Harriet, and I've heard what Howard Garland had to say. And y'all didn't mince words. He said, we got the message out and clear. So I was thrilled with that. But we want to showcase all of that. And we're going to upload it on YouTube. So when you search Darlington, South Carolina, you're going to get a nice looking YouTube video from DCIT. And it's going to show more than just what it does. Because if you go to Pinterest and you Google and you look up Darlington, South Carolina, it's an ugly sight. There's a dog with its muzzle taped shut with duct tape. I don't want that anymore.
All right.
I want to see good stuff. So we're going to have this expo. And Frank Willis, who's sitting behind me, I'm going to have his gerbil running on its little wheel too. And anybody that wants to assist, comment, volunteer to be on the committee to assist, please call me. Because we want Darlington to be on the map for good things.
What's your number?
You know my number.
They don't.
It's the Chamber of Commerce, 843-393-2641. And I will give you my cell, 80, which all y'all have, 803-606-5188. I will take any suggestions with glee. And I hope to see everybody at the annual banquet. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson, for that great report. For uplifting Darlington. Citizens wishing to speak. First, I have the PD Vikings football season. All right.
Good afternoon, how are you all today? I'm Coach Woodbury, one of the coaches on the PD Vikings, headed by Jay Charles, which is the head coach. Mr. Brandon Jett here, he's our offense coordinator. A couple other guys couldn't make it. We brought tonight with us our team captain, along with some of the defensive captains back there. We'd like to take the time to thank the city of Darlington and the council for supporting us these last 2 years. It has been a very hard and trying 2 years, but with a lot of success of each other, supporting each other, and the help of the first responders and the police department, we feel like we have brought a very successful program to the city of Darlington, something that hasn't been done in a long time. We traveled this year to Fort Lauderdale to compete for a national ranking. We did pretty good this year. We finished, 9-3 in the league. Went up to Charlotte and was able to compete for the CCFL championship. Lost by 3 in overtime. We hold our players to a very high standard. Not only do we police their behavior on the field, we police their behavior off the field. That's one of the biggest things we think makes our organization so special, is that we're trying to help guys that have the dream of going to the next level, that could not afford to go to college and play at that level and possibly make it to the NFL. Have a chance to sharpen their skills and possibly make it to the next level, whether it's arena or get on the practice squad with the NFL team. We one step under the NFL. A lot of this could not have been done if we didn't believe in God. God heads us. We pray for the safety of our fans. We pray for the safety of these players. We was not able to bring the national championship trophy with us tonight. It is getting polished. But we ask that you all in the city take the time to stop by the recreation department, because that's where it will be housed. We are giving it to the city as a first tool. What's the word I want to use? I don't want to say the wrong thing. A lot of organizations like ours work blessed the way Darlington blessed us this year. Allowing us to have the band, the police department out there, first responders like EMS coming out, really giving us their all. It made us feel proud to say we have never had an altercation at our games. Because not only do we demand our players not to do that, the fans that come out to support the players, we ask our players to be responsible for them too. We don't want you to feel like we're just a bunch of black guys together, black and white guys together, just having fun, hitting each other. It's not like that. It's much more serious, and we hope that next year, you guys take the time to come out and really see what we're just trying to give to the city of Darlington. Bringing back that 2A national championship, something that has never been done in the state of South Carolina by a semi-pro team or any semi-professional team. It's something that we take a lot of pride in. That was a wonderful feeling. We didn't win it for us, we won it for Darlington. Now Darlington is on the map. National rankings is a big thing in our league. We are ranked now 25th in the nation. Next year we plan to be 10. Or maybe hopefully number 1. We played the top team out of, what was it, Connecticut Mustang, out of Connecticut, and won that game in dominating fashion.
All right now.
The first team to ever allow only 70 yards total per game. That's an accomplishment that these guys are very proud of. This man right here beside me, our head coach, he pushes his coaches to the ball and pushes he plays. And I am proud to say I'm thankful that he brought me in. I'm the oldest one, I'm 46, I played 8 years semi-pro. I love to hit. These guys love to hit. I guess I'm kind of like, what, the daddy of the team? But we just want to take the time to say thank you. I hope next year we'll be able to make y'all proud again. Please take the time to go by the recreation department to see the trophy that we brought home. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for the job well done. So it's on the map again. Pink Thumb Ladies Guard Club.
Good evening, Darlington.
Good evening.
My name is Rosalind Boache, but I go by the name of Nana AC, and most people in the community know me as such. The Pink Thumb Ladies Garden Club has been designed with a desire to provide information and experiences that will enhance the development of our future leaders by providing opportunities with national sponsored and local sponsored contests and awards in the field of youth gardening programs. This garden park is a gift from myself to my community. It is being offered so that the children will have a place to create, explore, learn, and discover the world of sustainable eco-living, as well as intro to the world of kidpreneurs. A space that is designed by and for the children. This will provide opportunities for these young ladies to learn about nature and how all of nature fits into the makeup of life from seed to supper. With sustainable living, an important part of living in this region of the country, the mission of this venture is to teach how to grow your own healthy food, how to protect and love the wildlife, recognition of plants, trees, shrubs, flowers, and creatures that help your garden grow. Other areas covered will be banking, branding, marketing, how to prepare and cook organic foods, and how to maintain the earth in a strictly organic manner by creating compost and developing simple landscapes within the garden environment. Our vision is to instill dignity, integrity, pride, and knowledge of the local agricultural environment, assist in the development of our future agricultural, horticultural experts, artists, chefs, and of course, garden mentors. They are the future, and the vision of this organization is to open the doors to the opportunities that will assist in the growth, both cognitive and physical, of these young girls in the world of natural horticulture. Our goal is to ensure that the abilities to function in a responsible manner in society is achieved, while providing a safe environment for self-expression and cognitive development of social skills. In 2 years, we visualized two small landscape garden ventures created for business purposes by the young ladies, which we believe will lead to future business leaders and career opportunities in the future for these young girls. The girls are ages 9 to 12, and they come to Guest Street, right up from Mayo. That's where the property is. They have a garden that you will see a bunch of big tires multicolored, and they plant things in those tires, and they have their areas. They have the veggie group, they have the pizza group, they have the soul food group, and then they go, and the parents sit over in the park in the shade and watch them, because the land just happens to be like that. There's shade on one side and nothing but light on the other side. And I'm coming before you all here in Darlington to ask for your support. I have done all of this on my own, and had a lot of people to offer to help us. They've given us the tires. The ladies at the Florence market, the market on 52, yes, they have given us straw, because I read in a gardening book that straw was a good way to plant things if you didn't have the dirt, to make sure it would stay watered. Because trying to get the girls to get there to water their garden is interesting when it's 98 degrees outside. They don't want to do it. I'll do it for them, but they're learning. And I started this in 2014. So it's been going strong, and then the hurricanes came, and the floods came, and it turned into a little swamp. And the trees fell all over everything. And the little fence we tried to put up from roses, the little metal fence, it kind of just fell over in the wind and all of that. So then I had other members of the community say, oh, you need this, you need that, and they bought it and they laid it there. Clemson University showed up and helped us with our water, trying to learn how to do water without using someone's spigot. And that's been working, but then the community thought we were creating mosquitoes. And we tried to explain to them that there was things in the water to keep the mosquitoes from growing, but at that point, it was just so much rain that we had to stop and slow down for a little while. I also asked around about dirt, because we needed dirt to build up the land because it was flooding out. And the city had some people that were interesting. I asked. So what we need is dirt, we need rocks, and we need a lawnmower.
You can stop your 5 minutes is up.
Okay.
Council, what do you think about that? Any comments?
I love what you're doing. Are you a nonprofit?
No, we don't have nonprofit status because student loans sat on my head.
I understand.
Stop me, and I was like, okay, how I do this.
I know we usually have an issue with giving out funds unless it's a nonprofit. That being said, I'm sure we could look out into the community and maybe find other routes of helping you.
Or anything is loved.
But I'm not trying to shut down. I know that's the usual kind of first step for us.
Well, any guidance on that would be helpful as well.
Mr. Garland, do we have access to dirt that we can do? Do we have access? So can you give them some dirt? That's what she needs, or some rocks? That's what she needs?
I'm not sure about the rocks, but the dirt, yeah.
Okay. So can you get with Mr. Garland so he can give you dirt?
I'm sorry.
City administrator? Mr.
Oh, Mr. Garland, okay, yes. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
That would be great. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll talk about
What size lawnmower? Something that the girls can push.
Just a regular push one?
Yes, sir, something they can push.
I may have one.
And God,
Okay.
God is good.
thank the Lord.
Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry, the kids are also registered with the South Carolina Youth Garden Association.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Okay, thanks.
I read some of your stuff, it's great, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, oh, okay.
You want this back, right?
No, please
You
keep
want this
it.
back? Well, I
I have it on my desk.
Okay, I'll let the council look at it then. Okay, thank you so much. Boss, town building.
Good evening. I just wanted to take a moment of your time My name is Curtis, as most of you know, Curtis Boyd. You had an eyesore for, I guess, 4 years or more now that was left by Mr. Tyner to Jamie Tyner. And we have invested into a Darlington Investors Club has come on board. And as Kevin knows, we met last time. We've come to the conclusion of purchasing that building with the understanding of taking it down. Just want to give you an update and let you know that as of tomorrow, they're supposed to be on site, starting to do some minor work to it. And then Thursday, the excavator will actually be there. He's supposed to come to the city to get the actual permit tomorrow. They've already got the asbestos permit and applied for the state permit. So hopefully by within the next 2 to 3 weeks, that building will be cleaned down and become a landscape to hopefully make something better for the city of Darlington on that whole block that we have there at that point. So we'll have a city block that will eventually be subbed out to see if we can, again, build something there. But again, right now, I just want to give you an update, let you know that that was in your interest to make sure that it was taken down, and let you know that we've come together to have that cleared off, and the progress on that should be started. Should actually see that excavator on the site Thursday this week from Sturkey demo team is the one taking it down, the same one that took our other building down on the corner of the wooden building we took down. It's the same construction crew that's taking that one down.
Well, thank you for that, because I've been talking about it for over 4 years. Now, Peter mine talked about it, and every time I talked about it, they said he couldn't do it, because some happened.
All things are possible through Christ who strengthens us. I said all things are possible through Christ who strengthens us. So anything's possible. It can be built up or it can be torn down. So, that one's coming down, so Lord willing, nobody won't have no problems with it. And like I said, they did have asbestos in it, so that did cause a delay. But all that's been taken care of, and like I said, all the permits have been pulled. It's coming tomorrow, my understanding tomorrow, to get the city permit for the other part, and so that way, hopefully we'll have all our permits and everybody, all our ducks will be in a row, and we can make some progress.
Wonderful.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay. Mr. Garland will be asking, is it all right to move Miss Bernadine next?
Yeah.
So, because we got a lot to talk about with the camera and the roof cutter. Okay, so we move her next. If that's all right?
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay. On January 26th. Okay. On January 22nd, I got a call from Mayor Pro Tem, and at that time I had not seen the news. And so I told her I'd check it out. And when I checked it out, I realized Darlington was on national news. About 15 stations. 45 days on the job. 40 children. One little child said, I smell smoke. Sometimes we don't pay attention to children when they say things. We don't listen, but this driver, she did that. And I mean, she's a hero. And the reason why I say she's a hero, because I notice your parents are worried when the children are on the bus anyway.
Yes.
And she reacted fast and got them off the bus and got them to safety, and no one was hurt. And that was great. And like the headline in the paper said one time, just a mother that got 40 kids off the bus. And the fire driver hailed as a hero. Now, I didn't know until the night, till they stepped out the car, that her sister, I've known her sister for a long time.
All right.
and I said, what relationship are you? She said, that's my sister. I said, oh, that's great. So, Ms. Bernadine, Reed, you come on down.
That's my sister.
That's your sister. That are caring and that alert and can think quick, because that would have been a tragedy in Darlington for those kids who have gotten hurt on that bus, or anybody on the bus.
Because we spell our name the same way. Definitely you remember me.
All right now, all right. You got a special last name.
You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Reed, oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Miss Reed, you're so sharp tonight.
Yeah.
I want to present you with this Keep It City.
you're a hero and honor to get this key
Yes.
for what you did. And I know you was attending. I know the parents are just thanking you for what you did for their kids. You didn't fall short. You didn't get nervous. You didn't run out and leave the children. You saw that they were out into safety. And we want to thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
That's my stuff.
Bless you. The school district is lucky to have her.
Yes.
Bus driver. Unfinished business. As you know, we were talking about the cameras and root cutter for the Vector truck. Everybody knows that the Vector truck has been doing a great job since we got it with the water. And since Matthew, we've had so much water all over the city. Excuse me, sinus is acting up. I was kind of concerned because even though the Vector truck is doing a great job, they're going in places that they can't get to in the pipes. And they needed a camera and a cutter. So I kind of pushed that, try to help out with that. So Mr. Kinsell, Mr. Kinsell got some information for us tonight to tell us what we can do and where the money can come from. Part of it from the Water Department Capital Fund and part of it from Street Sanitation Department.
Yeah, Mr. Garland asked me to check on some prices. What you're looking at is an estimate on a total camera system that will do pipes up to 30 inches. It's got different sets of wheels, it jacks up, this is in an enclosed trailer. Because
Did you bring that picture you showed us? Let them see that picture. They can get a better idea of what's going on. You got one? Okay.
Well, I saw it, so.
Yeah.
It's looking more than what I quoted. You want to get the best. You want to get in the cage of the house, with a house, and a generator to go with it. I've seen it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I can go. I can do it.
This doesn't look like what I saw.
Huh?
There's something different.
Then when you saw it, oh yeah, this is the $100,000.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah, this is the camera this is not a push camera, this is the tracker camera.
That I was talking about? Oh, okay.
It comes with the camera is the little thing in the center here with the wheels.
Yeah.
So it lights up, it's got a lift thing on it so it can lift up.
I guess it can rotate and all.
Yeah, you can tilt the pan, the head up to look. If you see a spot you think in the top of the pipe, you can see it. But this is the complete outfit. He says should be everything we need
I guess.
in a trailer with the generator and everything. Because I couldn't see, putting $100,000 in a camera and riding it around on the back of a pickup.
Hallelujah.
So this is, if we can put this much in there, let's go ahead and have it mounted in the trailer.
Yeah.
Can you tell us at this time how much is in the capital fund for?
I've got a little over 700,000 in the
Seven
works.
hundred thousand.
Oh,
Okay.
And we've got 98,000 in the street department capital fund.
About 50,000 on each one. 50,000.
Well, it doesn't, this
Well,
doesn't
now
include,
this is not the root cutter, so we're looking at probably in the neighborhood of 120 if we buy the root cutter also.
Well, this is just the camera.
That's the camera.
Oh, wow,
root
okay.
cutter adds
That's
another
what they
10 or
said.
12,000.
Yeah, root cutter's a little bit cheaper, like $12,000.
It's somewhere, we'd be in the neighborhood, somewhere in the neighborhood of $120,000. And they may give, he said there may be a little wiggle room in the price.
so we're looking at
$65,000.
$200,000.
No, 120,000.
120,000 for everything.
So the root cutter is.
Root cutter's about 10,000.
Oh, okay. That's
How
what I
far
was
does
trying-
this camera go? How far
It's
does
got 600 foot of cord.
600
Okay.
It can turn,
Oh.
you know,
It pulls itself along, so you don't have to, one, Mr. Reed, Councilman Reed looked at, you had to push it.
Yeah.
This one's got different tires, and like I say, you can raise it depending on the size of the pipe you put it in. And he said this would do good up to a 30-inch pipe, good. And probably the largest we're gonna have would be, most hours are probably 18, 24s. There may be some 30, maybe a few 36s.
And you said this is coming out of sanitation?
Half hour water, half hour sound.
And you said something about the capital fund.
Yeah, I had capital funds about it.
I think Mr. Garland said, water department got what, got 700,000?
Yeah, I got about, well,
And the
just a little over
sanitation
7.
department got about 98,000.
You know, you can't stand there, the people know what's up.
Since, let me ask you a question. Since your department got more, can we take a little bit more out yours?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna use it very little. I won't use it half, so really sanitation should put about 80, 90% in.
Oh, no.
Oh, come
They ain't
on.
got but 98,000. They don't have but 98,000.
Why don't we do 60/40?
60/40, how about
I
that?
mean, I'm not gonna argue one way or the other. I mean, personally, I don't need it.
60/40.
The city money is these citizens' money here.
Well, I'm quite sure the citizens, as much as they have been talking, and some of them have been talking about the water, and they have a problem with roots in the sewer line, and need to be cut out in
Yeah.
order to free it up.
Oh, yeah. And as we talked before, we can't do root cutting without a camera.
That's right, we can't do it without the camera.
So that root cutter, that attachment is attached to this thing here? How
No,
many-
it'll attach to the back truck.
Okay.
They take the spray nozzle off the back truck and attach the root. The pressure of the water dry on the back truck runs the root cutter.
So, when you say you don't need it, what do you mean?
I mean, we use it, we have very little use for it in sewer, not stormwater.
I do understand, but you are water and sewer though, right?
Yes, that's what I say, but we use it very little, we would use it very little in sewer.
But the water lines up in there, and whenever we get a, I mean, I'm just, it was you that came to us about the back truck, period.
No, we can't.
No,
handle it.
I was asked to look at that.
All right, so that's what I'm looking
I whined for a little while.
at.
I whined for a little while.
Any other concerns?
And while we're on the back truck, has anybody seen it since
I
they
know,
did
but, yeah, I know, but.
the decorations on the truck?
No, I haven't seen it.
You need to make a point to look at it, you know. The sides have got ramps on them now, so it's got a pretty good, logo set of Darlington. It's got the racetrack, some downtown buildings and city Darlington all on the sides of the truck. Now, so if you haven't seen the truck lately,
Yeah.
So this new camera at $100,000 is gonna do what we needed to do when it goes down that hole. Those guys will see what they're cutting.
they will go, you go down and video it or see what's in there. You have to take it out to put the root cutter in. But
Yeah.
you can go through the pipe and see whether the pipe's broke or whether there's a rock in it or a gas line or a root.
Okay.
Tell them
That's
about, excuse me, go ahead, go ahead.
our concern is Wells Street, right behind us. We videoed it one day. And we got about 15, 20 feet up in it, and it's pretty nice yellow plastic pipes in the street. A 4-inch high-pressure gas line. had you run that root cutter up that one, Darlington wouldn't be here.
Yeah, we'd have been them blowed up.
And that's not the only instance I'm around, but I'm sure there's one, because they drill those pipes in there blindly under the ground. And we found them in sewer lines, we found them, in storm drains. So you want to know it is a root and not a chunk of concrete or a gas line or a power line,
It was quite eye-opening for me when I came to see the demonstration and saw that this is, I know it's costly, but it's needed because of this kinds of problems that this city is encountering almost on a daily basis that and you see what the value of the vac truck has done. But it's limited. We can do so much more if we had all this. We do need it. It is.
Oh, it's
just
definitely, you don't want to go in a storm
more and
drain,
more, so
stormwater
that's-
drain without looking at it now.
I'm gonna get some, tell them that, it measures as it goes in, so that when they go in with the cutter, if it's 30 feet, 20 feet,
Yeah.
whatever it is, they know exactly where to
You
stop
can't
at
see it,
with
but
the cutter, you can't
would,
see it. yeah.
you would know, and it reels off on a measure.
Yeah.
It's measuring as that cable runs off. And so if they see something at 100 foot, they know they're gonna have to run in the back truck, and they can gauge the back truck going in also, to know you gotta go 100 feet up in that pipe to hit that root.
Sounds good to me. Ready to make a motion? We'll make a motion. Got a question? Go
I got a
ahead.
comment.
Go ahead, comment, okay.
From a financial standpoint, can we afford this? We still got the back truck, we got some expenses coming up on that mid-year, I believe, when you start paying the bill, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Only way we're able to afford this and to afford the match on the EDA grant, which is coming up soon, is we have to take the tank payment that we had for the two above-ground tanks that were painted. It was $388,040. The company that did that work has agreed to let us take the lease payments, which is the same company for the cell tower on top of the North Main Street tank, and we just signed that check over to them for 10+ years. And that way we keep our reserve for water sewer fund. We just lose the revenue from the cell tank, or from the cell tower over there on North Main Street, top of our water tank.
We got some equipment expenses coming up, we're gonna have to pay for it. We delayed those payments to this budget year. And we also got, once that Joe Louis Boulevard lift station comes in, we're gonna have some grant matches.
That's what I was talking about, the match on that, yes, sir. By taking the revenue away from us, the $38,000 a year we get in revenue from the cell tower being on top of our water tank on North Main Street, and signing that check back over to the company that did the utility painting, that saves us $388,040 right now, which stays in our water sewer reserve fund.
But if we only got $700,000 in there, we're gonna have a match on the grant coming
That's
up.
that's what I, yes, sir, that's what I just said, is that we can do that if we sign over those revenue checks to the utility service group, which did the painting and remodeling of our above ground water tanks.
And that comes out to about $38,000 a year.
Correct.
Yes.
So 10 years, we get those funds back.
Can we afford this?
With the money we have in the bank right now, yes, we can. Can I answer what's going to happen in the future? No. Are we going to have another sewer line collapse or water line collapse? Probably yes. Where, I don't know. But right now, at this point, it's something we can't afford. But as to what happens 2 months from now, I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Well, one thing I see about it, we have this expensive vacuum truck, and it's not doing everything that it can do because it lacks the camera and the cutter. And I mean, if we can't afford it, God said we can take the money out water and then sanitation, but if we don't get it, we still got a lot of calls there from people about the water backing up. And we can't do anything about it. We don't have the cutter to help it. I mean, that's a chance you have to take.
And with the stormwater fund and the project we did over near Subway, I mean, we've exhausted our funds for the next 20 years with that fund. I mean, it's at 100% max. And so our HVAC truck is our future as far as our stormwater maintenance program and being able to keep that in line. So I'm in favor as well, I think. So I think it's smart for our future. pray to God we don't have a couple more cave-ins.
Yes.
Well, even from a safety standpoint, we don't want guys going out there, digging, don't know what we digging or hitting.
Well, all right with the back truck, but you don't want a root cutter.
Yeah, you don't
without- you don't want a root cutter without a camera.
Yeah.
But if,
Now,
seems
90-something% of the pipes they can clean without the root
Yeah.
cutter.
but the problem we're having, because we got so much, roots, and whatever else might be down there blocking the flow.
Yes.
I mean, we can continue to do what we're doing with the bag truck, but it ain't serving the purpose
Serving the purpose.
if we don't have all the attachment that we need.
Oh, no,
to
it's
make
gonna
it
get
run.
better, yeah.
Right.
But there are companies that we can hire to come in to do this.
Yeah, this video company, that's what we've done in the past. All the work I've done, I've hired a contractor to come in for a day or two and video.
Until we get to a better financial
With
situation.
the same equipment, they
At
use the
what
same.
cost?
He'll come in for 2 days for $3,000-4,000. I've used them twice.
And,
Is that, I mean, from all the flooding and the stuff that we're having and the water problem, twice a year don't seem like that's sufficient
Yeah.
to take care of our problems.
Well, I'm just speaking from the sewer side, like I say, as far as sewer purposes, we use them twice.
So
Yeah.
did you try to use them for Broad Street there? Where you know that it's such a terrible block right there?
We hadn't brought anybody in though, because we've been talking about cameras and like.
Yeah, well, that means,
But you can make a list, as we talked early on with the back truck, is when they identify a blockage, you can make a list of a street or a blockage in front of a house. And you can hire a contractor to come in for a couple of days and go to the different spots and do it. I mean, it's not owning your own, but it gets you by for, you may spend 10, 20,000 a year, you may not.
You said you use them twice for sewer.
I've used them twice.
Thank you.
So as bad as this city has gotten, why haven't we done that in prior years? Because everything is falling apart all over the city.
So,
Now we're saying
what
we
happened?
could have done or should have done, but why?
I'm not done why, I mean, videoed or,
yeah, whatever that is.
Call
Well-
in whoever you just said and
well,
got it done.
I videoed sewers where I had to, up till the last year, there'd really been no major stormwater work done. And that's when the back truck was bought.
Yeah, but-
Before the back truck, we
Let's,
didn't.
let's go ahead and call a vote. Vote it up or vote it down so we can move on. I think we need it. I think we can make it, to help the citizens out with all this is going on. So, will someone make a motion? 60/40, 60 for
60 for,
water and sanitation, 40% out the capital fund.
We so moved for that.
state.
State the motion.
Oh, boy. Okay, we make a motion that we do, purchase the camera and the root cutter for the back truck with 60% coming from the, from sewer, water and sewer, and 40% from sanitations and streets.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? It's been properly moved and second that we allow, get 60% from the, water department, water and sewer, and 40% from the sewer, that we get the cutter and the camera for the bank truck. All in favor, let the no sign aye.
Aye.
Nays have the same rights.
Nay.
Nay, one nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay.
In your package, you saw we had, annexation. First reading of the ordinance. PDR.
PDRTA.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I'm skipping over, I won't leave you out. He's retiring
I'll be
soon.
fast, so you can keep going.
Hear about the Saturday
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry that Ms. Bernadette Reed left so quickly after getting her key to the city, because I wanted to give her an application to drive a bus for PDRTA. We need good drivers like that. I spoke recently with Mr. Garland. He suggested I come and give you a brief update on the Saturday DART bus service. We've been operating it now for 3 months, so I'll be brief and give you a quick report. But since I have the floor for a minute, I'll start off by saying the DART service in general for the entire week this year is just going like gangbusters. We're having a fabulous year. Our year, as I always report, follows the municipal year, so from July through, and my numbers are through January. When you compare this year to the previous year, it's up over 25%. We had this time last year, a year ago, 4,100 trips. This year it's over 5,100 trips, so 1,000 more trips this year on the DOT service in general. Most of the folks are getting on at Washington Street Apartments, Washington Square Apartments, which is not a shocker. Interestingly, a popular stop for people getting on to start their trip is at Walmart.
Yep.
Which is also a destination, of course, but a lot of people are getting on to go somewhere from Walmart. I don't know if they got there from a ride or they're in the neighborhood around Walmart, but that was interesting. And other common destinations are IGA and Roses, Bilo, where the City Trend just recently moved, I guess. A lot of folks are taking the DART bus to get over there, and the Dollar Tree over there. So on Saturday, we started on November 3rd. As you recall, I came to answer some questions about what it would take, and we decided to begin in November running 4 hours every Saturday. For a year, if I recall correctly, don't quote me on this, I believe it was around $2,800 that it would cost to run the service for 52 weeks, but since we didn't start until November, it was a little less than $2,000, if I recall. And the numbers have been not too bad. It's all relative. Somebody may disagree with me, but for each of the 14 Saturdays through this most recent Saturday, we started with 27 the first week, and it went up and down since then. A couple of Saturdays in January, we only had 5 or 12 people because it's cold. But overall, for the 14 days, we had a total of 267 trips, which averages about 19 trips a day on a Saturday. They did go up again this past Saturday, February 2nd, to 23 trips. The high number was back on November 10th when we had 36 trips on those 4 hours of service on Saturday. So folks clearly are using it, and otherwise you'd have to imagine they'd be stranded at home and not able to get out and go pick up some groceries or get somewhere, see a friend, spend a few dollars in town. And so hopefully this is good news, and people are taking advantage of the investment to have the bus operate on that 6th day. And we'll keep you posted. We'll be back again. It might even be me, who knows? We'll be back again later in the spring to give you an update so that you can consider whether or not you'd like to continue the Saturday bus into next year.
They love it.
They do love it. They do love it, and we can't thank you enough for giving them the opportunity to try it and to love it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty.
Now we got the okay. C, first reading of ordinance 2019-02, annexation. 164-05-02-046, Little Williams, 504 Young Street, and that's out there near,
Right up North Main.
right on North Main out there. I think you have something in your, package showing it.
Yeah.
She needs sewer services.
She needs sewer services, that's why she wants to come in.
Okay. So what do we need?
Make a
Just need a
motion.
motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve first reading ordinance 2019-02, annexation 164-05-02-046, Tallulah Williams, 504 Young Street.
I second.
Any more discussion? It's been properly moved and second that, we do the first reading of ordinance 2019-02, annexation 164-05-02-046, Tallulah Williams, 504 Young Street. All in favor of the vote, let it be a sign aye.
Aye.
Opposed, have the same right. Motion carries. First reading. Okay, change my, hit you change, hit you, okay. Number D, first reading of orders 2019-03, citizens appear before council. Okay, you want to sign this?
No, just for your, just as ordinance reads.
I have noticed over the past year that some of, comments that have been made by citizens and others have become personal and very offensive. As mayor of Darlington, I have a responsibility to all citizens of Darlington and not to select a few. These comments have gotten out of hand and must cease at once if we are to move Darlington forward. We as a community must lay aside our personal differences and do what is in the best interest of our beloved community. Like many of you, I am a lifelong resident of Darlington, and I love this community and its people dearly. I am asking each of you to let's please come together and move our community forward. Let us come together as a united front with one sole purpose in mind, and that is to make the city of Darlington all that we know that it can be. I would like to recommend to my fellow members of council that we change our current policy on citizens' comment. I make a motion that anyone wishing to come before council to make a comment should meet with the city manager at least 6 days before council meeting to state your concerns. If approved, you will be allowed 2 minutes to address council pertaining to the subject that you gave to the city manager. During these comments, there will be no personal attacks or offensive remarks made about the mayor, any member of city council, any employee of the city, or any citizen of the city of Darlington.
I second that motion.
Comment?
Yes, ma'am. I think previously we had added in here citizen of Darlington. That's not in here. I don't know if we're gonna continue to do that. Don't carry it away on that side of it. But, when it comes to this, I'm fine with us changing the citizens' comments. I would ask that we give the citizens the ability to see the agenda before the meeting. So if there's something on the agenda, and I had a citizen call me about it, and like he said, there's some things where we vote twice on, first reading, second reading of ordinances. There's other things like this attachment for the back truck, we just vote once and it's done. So I'd love to give the citizens the opportunity to be able to address council on the subjects that are going to be on the agenda for that month. So what I'm asking is, if we do the meeting with the city manager 6 days before a regular scheduled meeting, that our agenda be put out 7 days before the regular scheduled meeting. I don't care what the days are. I'd just like the citizens to be able to see what's on the agenda and then have the opportunity to sign up to speak on that subject. The only other thing I'd like to add is 2 minutes is a little short. 4 or 5 minutes, I would appreciate, meet in the middle somewhere if we need to. But just give them enough time to fully be able to expand upon the subject matter.
Okay.
And that's it.
Hartsville don't do it at all. Citizens are not allowed to speak at all in Hartsville. And I know the county, they have to call and ask to be put.
And they get 2 minutes with the county.
And they get 2 minutes on the
I
county.
think we still stick with the 2 minutes because most people go over 2 minutes anyway.
Most people go over 5, I do give them a leeway. I have a county, they go over 5, most people go over 5, So I know
I'm
they go
fine
over 3,
without
so.
it being 5 minutes, but maybe we meet in the middle around 3 minutes. 2 minutes is a little short. That's all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
This
Anybody
says-
else?
Yeah, this says citizens of Darlington. I think I read the municipal code. When I read it, I think it said the
City,
city.
yes, city.
Citizens in the city.
In the city of Darlington only.
That's fine, as long as they, and I feel like they should have access to the agenda. I think that's this,
Mr. Garner, what you think
This
about
should get
that?
given, so when they-
days before.
Sorry.
The ordinance says I can participate in full discussion without a vote, so I'll just go ahead and and put in my opinion here. We've amended the agenda a dozen times in the last 2 years, so if we put the agenda out 7 days before and it's a 6-day limit, if it's amended, you're still gonna run into the same problem. The citizens not knowing it's amended or having a chance to comment on the amended agenda. So, how do you handle that? I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing it out there just for discussion.
Anybody's got a comment?
I guess in that matter, we would have to give citizens the opportunity to speak on the amended subjects. Everything has to be off ground, you know, but just have to have that little, we amended this agenda, somebody wants to come up and speak, we have to give them an opportunity. We didn't give them an opportunity to see it beforehand. But to not give them the opportunity to speak on a subject that we're speaking on that month, all because of the possibility of amending the agenda, though I understand it's very well point. Good point, but I want to make sure we're being transparent. We're not Hartsville, we're Darlington. We can do it our own way a little bit and kind of morph what they're doing and take what's good and adjust it a little bit.
And usually the citizens that wanting to comment, they have their own personal. It's not usually about what's on the agenda. So when they contact the city manager, you see what I'm saying? It's like when they contact the city manager, if at that point they have the agenda available to them and they see they want to they want to talk about that, then that's fine. But we have, anything may get amended. Anything can happen that, so it shouldn't be based on the amended thing. We're making it available to you. I think that's beautiful that we're doing that. But most of the time, from the time I've been here, when citizens speaking, it's about their own, they have.
I think that's fair then, just allow them the opportunity to see the agenda, but in 3 minutes, but if we have something amended, then
3 minutes.
they'll have to wait till next
Change it
month.
2 to 3
That's
minutes.
right.
That'd be appropriate, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
It wasn't it second? Wasn't there a second?
Yes.
It was, okay.
And we're also gonna give them the ability to see the agenda before the,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Good deal.
All in favor? Let us know the sign aye.
Ah,
Nays have the same right. Motion carries. Thank you so much for that.
now the fire department.
I think we're on E now, 8E.
Right.
Fire Department request, Public Safety Director, Chief Washington.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of council. If it's okay, I'm gonna have ask Chief Kavanaugh to make this presentation. And if he needs any assistance with him, I'll assist. If he needs any assistance with it.
Mayor and council, I really appreciate the opportunity for you to let me come speak. Normally, when I come speak to you guys, the first thing you hear when you walk through the door is, he's coming for money. He needs to buy something. Tonight's a little bit different.
Okay.
Doing some research. Tonight, I'm asking your blessing to come up with something called a Fire Department Cost Recovery Fund that will help us alleviate me coming to you all the time and asking for money. Hopefully, we can find a little object out for the mayor to bring some money back in. When something happens and something tears up, we'll have a way to have some money built up. That way I don't have to keep coming to you every time. Or bugging Howard when a fire truck breaks when the budget is low.
All right now.
Yes, Kevin? Howard, you want?
Give that to Mr. Bryant. There, if you have any.
Before you start,
Yes.
Chief, is this what we talked about some time ago? Where you go out and assist and don't get paid for it?
Sort of.
Sort of, okay.
Years ago, we did bring a company in here to talk about this. After some discussion, we felt like, in talking to some council people, when the folks left, we were worse off. We didn't understand what they were asking to do than when they came in. So what we're asking to do is set up a separate fund that's a revolving fund that every year we can recoup some costs and put them in a fund. And if we need something, it's there. Something that's not tied into the budget. So you're going to ask, what is fire department cost recovery? Cost recovery is kind of plain and simple. It's a way for us to recover costs, let's say for a car accident. Someone from North Carolina comes in and tears up a fire hydrant. On the way out there we go and we ruin some equipment on the fire truck. It's not really fair for the folks in this sitting here right now to take their tax money and repair the equipment. So there's a way out there now that we can get people to go on the insurance of the person that does the actual at fault, and we can try to recoup some of this money back. A little bit behind it. It's been in business for 17 years, and there are over 40 states in the country that are doing cost recovery. I'm doing some research. South Carolina is one of the better states as far as cost recovery for these companies to actually get something back for the fire department. So how does it work? We'll go to a run, and if something gets damaged or used, we submit this bill to the at-fault person's insurance. So this does not affect the local agent. Our Bill Moores, our State Farm will never see this. This goes in the national headquarters. So what will happen is the stuff is filed, and the insurance company will either say, yes, we're going to pay you, or no. If they do not, then we do not do anything about it. But if they do, then we recoup some of our costs. And it's a way to get back, to put a little bit in a fund. So like I said, I don't have to keep coming to you and saying, look, I need this, I need this, I need this. So who's doing it in the area? Darlington County had an ordinance in place for years. The city of Hartsville has an ordinance in place. They use a program called Fire Recovery. West Florence Fire Department does it. Surfside and Garden City does it. I'm not going to go to the crowd. Dan, does Columbia do anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's nothing new. It's just something that we've been trying to figure out how to do it without burdening the citizens. And the last couple of years of research, and it finally hit hard the last couple of weeks, we can do this. So on this thing, you're going to find a list of questions that everybody asks, what it is, why is it necessary. I'm going to sum it up very easy for you so I don't keep you here all night. Back in 2002 or 2003, the fire department had a large fire at the Hartsville Oil Mill. We stayed 10 days there. When we got finished, we had roughly 25 to 26 sets of turnout gear that were damaged. We had no way to recoup this. Luckily, through hard work with Howard and some other folks, we got a FEMA grant for about $175,000 to help us recoup all this back. Now, I'm asking you to allow me to go forward and hopefully next month submit to Kevin for you guys to look at an ordinance so we can put this into place. So when this happens again, we can go after the at-fault people to help alleviate some of this cost. We were fortunate last time. The FEMA grant helped out, but if we hadn't got it, we'd still be behind the 8 ball. So this is what we're here to ask in a nutshell. Allow me to get a ball rolling to help us set something up. We will bring you an ordinance next month to look at, and Kevin will look at. It'll talk about how we're going to do it, and all I need is your permission tonight to get started.
Do we have the motion to approve, or we just tell them to go forward?
Since it's something that we would actually be collecting, it's just for informational purposes tonight, we need to have like a first and second reading on this, because it is a fee. Even though it's not something we're necessarily charging to the citizens, we're charging to insurance companies. So we have to have the first and second reading on it.
So we do that in March?
Yes, ma'am. First reading would be in March. No, you can't have.
do that. That's the regular meeting.
This is just information to make sure you don't have any questions, because last time we presented this load more than 2 years ago, we weren't quite sure where council stood on it, so we wanted you to have this information tonight. First reading in March, second reading in April.
Okay, very good. Everybody on board with that?
Any other questions you'd like to ask? I'll be more than happy to answer them.
I got a question, but it's not about this. I'm on board. I say we approve the request.
We got to talk about this.
Okay. But you said at the Hartsville Oil Mill, when you had so much damaged equipment, and there's no way for you.
We didn't have an ordinance in place. I mean, it's hard to go after somebody unless you have an ordinance in place that says, hey, this is what's going to happen if things get,
See, my question is, I mean, you're gonna have damaged equipment. We don't have insurance, period, that we can get things.
Basically, we fall, and
That's
Darlington
what
can answer, we fall under the self-insured deal with the state. It's hard to get stuff. Like this,
so
on a
I'm
fire
not
truck.
understanding this.
Our insurance will cover the fire truck. And Lord forbid, if the fire truck leaves out tonight and hits a ditch and turns over, the fire truck with our insurance, chances are it's going to be replaced. Air packs, which are $5,000 a piece, and there are 8 of them on that truck. Thermal imaging camera, which is $5,000. All the other equipment, that's not covered.
Hallelujah.
So we have to figure a way to figure this out on our own. Now, I will tell you this. This may not, you may not see $5 million come in here. It depends on the runs. If we have 5 runs this year that are actual billable, we'll have some money to put away. We may have feast or famine. But if we at least get the ball rolling, we'll have something in place down the road.
But you'll let us know each time you get a
Yes, the
room.
city manager and or Chief Washington will have that report every month and let you know what's going on.
Let's see.
When we talked about this a couple of years ago too, there was a situation about when you respond to auto accidents and stuff like that.
Yes.
Can you get repaid for your visit there? Is that?
Depending on what happens, there has to be some physical work done. Leaking fluids where you have to abate a hazard. The biggest things right now are auto accidents with extrication, hazardous material incidents, and commercial fires, the oil mill. There's some things in small structure fires for folks that are built in their policy, but our biggest concern right now is those big incidences, if something happens, we'll be able to have a lady's family.
Okay. You need some insurance.
Any other questions? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Department reports, no actions needed. Council comments. I went to the service the other day. Chief Stone will be greatly missed. I know the flowers gonna miss him for watering the flowers down there in front of the pad. He watered the flowers and he did a whole lot of things around Darlington. And I just like to say that when Chief Stone and I ran against each other, we still was smiling. We see each other, we joke, we smile, had no bad words to say about anybody. So we could certainly miss him in the city of Darlington with all his jokes. And I know that we have the banquet. He loved to tell his jokes now. He always would tell his jokes. I want to thank the city workers for all that they are doing in the city of Darlington. They work real hard. We have so many cave-ins. Right there on Mr. Garland, got it kind of confused the other day about Avenue E, wasn't it? Cleveland Jordan. Yeah, they took some dirt, they filled the hole up, and then I looked again, I saw them taking the dirt out of it. They put some more dirt in. I was talking to Mr. Garland about it. He thought I was talking about a permit Mr. Cleveland Jordan guy. I told him, no, it's about what the city doing. And he still said, after I told him that, he still said, he didn't ask for no permit, nothing about Mr. Him. So anyway, we're straight on that. And anyway, they got a whole lot of leak holes all over Darlington, water spraying up out streets of Darlington. So we want to thank the city workers for all the hard work that they do. Everybody that has a part in what we do in the city of Darlington. And we went to legislative day. Got some great information, great speakers. The chief was there on a panel talking. He did an excellent job. And also they talked, Mr. Gall in that report about a locator. What we're concerned a bit on North Main about the locator. Yeah, I don't think we gotta do that. We gotta talk about that. Yeah, anyway. Anybody else have any comments?
No comment, I just wanted to say, we got any update on our, grant for the waste state, the lift station on Double Woods Boulevard.
The shutdown was 35 days.
Right.
We don't have any type of word from them other than we're waiting.
Oh.
So EDA was shut down for over a month.
Yeah, I did talk with them during that time, what she said, because I couldn't understand if it was already, if we had been approved and they were working on it, why the shutdown was affected. But she said because of federal workers in the state of South Carolina, they wasn't getting paid, so they wasn't working on it either. But now that they
so they moved the deadline up.
So I'm just saying,
we've gotten no official guidance from anybody on that. We've made a phone call and had a request, and they asked for clarification on like letters of job commitments and things. That's all.
Okay. The deadline was what, March 10th or March 15th?
For EDA?
No, I'm not EDA, on the real grant.
She was asking about update on the EDA.
Yeah.
Y'all are mixing grants up now.
Okay, wait, so you okay.
The Rio Grande, that's whole something completely different, that's
I know,
March
I know,
15th.
I know.
Yeah, she's
So we
asking,
can't go with that one now? The EDA, we can't do that?
we're, have the EDA application that's out, we have not heard back on it.
Okay. So, but you don't have any requirements on it yet, since it's shipped out?
Right.
What was the, official date that it was supposed to, each of the grant? Or was there official date that it
It's supposed to
was
be
about
in January,
January?
they were supposed to let us know, in the January, without a shutdown.
The end of January?
It'll be in January.
Any other concerns? Remind us before we go into executive session, on Tuesday, March 5th, 2019, 6:30, regular city council meeting. So we'll see you back then. If you want to stay after we come out of executive session, you can. We have to go to executive session for Project Peach, economic development, possible sale of property. The city of Darlington may or may not vote after we come out of executive session. We ask everybody at this time to leave the room except Mr. Lee Andrews and Ms. Lisa Rock. And who else was going? Mr. Willis.
Lisa,
I named it,
and
Lisa.
Leo.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. 5-minute break before we go. Wait a minute, hold on, guys. No, we got to give a
I'd like a motion that we go into executive session.
I say.
It's been properly moved to the session. All in favor, aye. Ladies have to say right, motion carried. 5-minute break, all night, guys. 5-minute break.
Congratulations, you gotta get